Hey everyone, it is tea time with the diva. Grab your tea, grab your coffee, because we're gonna get into it. This tea time is dedicated to Diddy, okay, and his love of the freak offs. Listen, there is a therapist out there that is agreeing with Diddy, but in a different type of way. But she's kind of agreeing with Diddy that spicing up things in your bedroom can maybe spice up things in your relationship. Now, listen, I'm old school. I believe in that saying that two's company and three's a crowd. When it's two of you, you could be more intimate than if a third person joins in. And once, whether it is through conversation or in your bedroom, you add another party, things will always go left. I promise you that it will always go left. When you are with somebody and y'all are partners, once you start to tell a third party about what's going on in your relationship, you thrown a bone in your situation. The situation is no longer intimate. You got somebody in your ear because maybe they jealous that you a couple and they're single, or they want you, or they want someone within that couple, so they're going to throw some negativity and smoke in the game. If you're having a bad day, because everybody needs to talk to somebody, all of our feelings need a home. So maybe you and your partner having a bad day, they not listening to you, can't talk to them, and you decide, because you think maybe this person is just a friend, to start telling this friend your situation, your business. And they be like, "Oh, if I was you, I wouldn't take that from my spouse. I wouldn't let them talk to me like that. I wouldn't accept that. I will go back and say blah, blah, blah." And usually when you listen and they get in your ear, it starts to throw roadblocks and mess up your good situation because you told them about one bad moment. When you're a couple, stay a couple. Don't become a truffle and let somebody else in your situation. But this therapist is pretty much saying that spicing things up in the bedroom, as long as you have all consenting adults, all will be well. And it may make you happier in your life intimately. But I said, and she even approves of the baby oil, okay? Listen, I say this: don't let anybody else in your bedroom. Listen, I'm into people doing what makes them happy, but just like with Diddy, and even couples that don't go to the extreme level like Diddy did, it brings trouble. And she said, consenting adults. Let me tell you something about consent, where the difficulty comes in. Diva could say yes, and it's just me, you, and maybe the third person there. Or maybe the third person's not there yet, and you ask me, do I want to be bringing somebody else? And I say yes. You said that in the atmosphere. It can now become he say, she say, or she say between y'all. And I decide, I wake up one morning and decide, you know what? I didn't like the way that went down. So I could claim all kinds of stuff. And who's to prove that in that moment I did give consent? So what do? Do you stop now and you draw up a contract? And then you know what happens with that contract? The person gonna say, I signed it under duress. I was drinking alcohol that day. I was popping pills or doing something. Keep it between you and one other person. That's safer that way. Let me go ahead and share a screen so we could get more into this story with the therapist speaking. So, Diddy, a S therapist says freak offs can crank up the heat in the bedroom. Just get your partner's consent. Yeah, well, he claimed he did. And look where he's at now. The Diddy trial is putting his freak offs on the world stage. And a famous sex therapist says there are elements from the now infamous sex marathons that couples can use to spice up their relationship. And there's a legal way to make it happen. Dr. Laura Behrman, best known for her show on the Oprah Winfrey Network, tells TMZ lots of folks are struggling in their sex lives, either from lack of sex or boring sex. And that's why the freak off element of the case, for all its appalling elements, is also taintillating to some. Listen, I wouldn't do it. Let's play this.
As much as they're appalled at I think a lot of people, as much as they're appalled at Diddy's case, they're also kind of titillated because a lot of folks are struggling in their sex lives. They're either having sexless relationships or it's become completely boring. And there are so many ways to spice it up where you don't have to put your relationship at risk, but it has to start with acknowledging that things have become a little boring and getting consent both ways for spicing things up. And then you can start having your own freak off, right? You can start playing with toys. You can start experimenting with bondage and dominance and submission. You can get a little flogger, a little whip, or tie your partner up. The difference between doing that in a relationship and doing that in a situation like P. Diddy is being accused of is primarily communication and active ongoing consent. Well, I think in a lot of ways, group sex, open relationships are.
Oh, she said active, ongoing communication. So, do you ask them every single time before you do these group sessions? You guys say, "You okay with this?" I mean, but if the person is showing up and willing, don't you say in your head they're saying yes or they wouldn't show up? I don't know. Let's continue.
Are being normalized and celebrated in many ways. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. I'm all for to each their own. But I think it is being romanticized in a way that puts relationships at risk. And the truth is, to pull off an open relationship or even a group sex experience and go back to a regular relationship requires so much maturity, so much communication, so much emotional intelligence that honestly, most couples can't pull it off. I think there's lots of things about freak offs that can be incorporated into a healthy relationship. Play with baby oil if you want to, or other kind of lubricants. Play with tying your partner up with consent. Have a safe word so that when things feel like they're getting too intense, you can stop them. Play with bondage and submission. Play with dominance, right? There are all these ways to play around the edges and have your own healthy freak off with consent, preferably with someone you know and trust. And it's not just consent once, it's ongoing consent. If you do that, then there's so many great opportunities for spicing things up in your relationship.
Ooh, I think it's risky. And I do believe that once you open Pandora's box, it's very hard to reverse it and go back. Usually, you're going to have someone in this situation, like a Diddy, perhaps, that, this is what they love to do. So once you say yes, he just hits the ground running. Seriously. The doc says there's lots of ways for couples to spice up their sex life without putting their relationship at risk, like sex toys and baby oil, which Diddy allegedly stockpiled. The author of the newly released book, Sex Magic, explains what other elements of Diddy freak-offs may help couples add something kinky to their bedroom routine or lack thereof, and tells us why consent is key here. You think, okay, you may end up in the Southern District of New York, finding yourself in a court case, talk about you trafficking people if you don't. In addition to that, you may find yourself behind bars. Nah, I don't like to toot the line, so to speak. I like to walk the straight and narrow line. That's me. But again, I don't have anything against anybody else what they want to do. Live your best life because you don't know how long you got. Okay. But I do believe live your best life legally. She also talked about bondage, safe words in open relationships. And I'm not one for no open relationship. I like it to be me and the other person, but that's me. Some people like sharing. I can share anything. I don't like to share my man and my relationships. Listen, everybody, let me know your thoughts. Chat with me in the comments, and when I get an opportunity, I will chat back. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Everybody, thanks for watching. Let me know your thoughts on, would you ever open the doors to your bedroom to someone else besides you and your partner? What do you think about this therapist saying that, freak offs can be a healthy part of your relationship if you tweak the rules, so to speak, and not hire escorts like Diddy did, and maybe just get a bunch of all consenting adults, right? But then are you saying in the midst of my, heated moment, so to speak, I gotta stop every 10 to 15 minutes and make sure you still okay with this? It's crazy. I'd rather be just me and my partner. Anyway, guys, chat with me in the comments. I will chat back. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.